Okay, so I started on the rear subframe. A few discussions about this, square section, round section. I made both. In the end I've gone with round section bar. Around about 22mm or so. And I've just cut it and welded it round. I've got to finish all of this up. But what I've done for the time being, I've just tacked it onto the frame here, and I've just got some little gussets in here to hold it. I do need to put some supports up across here as well. It does take the weight, it's fine, I can sit on it. It's quite nice actually for the first time being able to sit on it. But I wouldn't fancy my chances at hitting a pothole at 70 mph and it not bending a little bit. So I will put some supports on it. Let me just put the tank on and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is with the tank unit on and the seat unit just sat there at the moment. So yeah, so she's sort of coming together. Still a bit worrying the amount of work left to do. But I'm going to leave the seat unit for now, because all I really wanted to do was to get it sitting there so I could actually sit on the bike. And now I can. And now I want to try and figure out the foot pegs, really. Because my plan is if I can get the foot pegs sorted out, exactly what I'm going to do with the foot pegs. And I need to figure out the brackets for the exhaust as well. So you're kind of stepping ahead a little bit to go backwards here. But if I can get the foot pegs sorted and the bracketry for the exhaust, what I'm going to do then is completely strip the whole thing back down to take the engine out, frame apart or bike apart. Shocks have got to be rebuilt at the front, you know, the rear end I've got to clean up a load of bits and put oil back in things. And what I'd like to do is get it back to where it is now, but finished, so I'm just left with the other bits to carry on with afterwards. Because, like I say, once I've finished welding anything I want to do to get welded to the frame, I can then take it apart and get the frame cleaned up and painted and, you know, that kind of stuff. That's the idea. So this is just a little video, not showing you anything being done, just showing you where we are. One thing, let me sit on the bike and I'll show you what it feels like. Okay, so this is quite a pivotal moment really. It's the first time I can sit on the bike properly. And yeah, she feels great. She feels great. The rear suspension, I thought the rear suspension was going to be rock solid, and actually it's actually soft at the top end. I have softened the shock off as much as I can, but yeah, it feels good. It feels good. I just want to ride the thing. But what we're going to do next are the rear foot pegs. So now I've got it sat on the wheels. I can sort of think about whereabouts the foot pegs have got to go so they're comfortable and they look good. So that's the next thing. I'm really unsure about how to do the foot pegs. I'm not sure. One, I don't know. Can't make my mind up. I was thinking about just putting a couple of, you know, making it tubular and just a couple of the supports, because I think they're going to sit around about here also. Generally speaking, they're kind of sort of centre of the seat down, around about this, or around about here, I'd imagine. A couple of tubular sections coming out, just holding it, so it's sort of more in line with the frame. Or the original way I was going to do it was just to weld a couple of little brackets here, which I could bolt like an aluminium sort of rear set onto. So I don't know, the jury's out on that at the minute. I'm still thinking about it. But like I say, if I can get these done, if I can get these, whatever I do, as long as I get it welded to the frame, whatever I decide to do in the end. And then I've also got to think about the exhaust. So I haven't thought too much about the exhaust, but I do need some form of holding the exhausts on, and that will be welded to the frame as well. So I think the exhaust bracket, the foot peg bracket, and I need a little support up here still to be welded. I think that would be the last things that I need to do so far as the frame is concerned. So then once I've done that, I can strip the whole thing down, take the engine out, get all of these brackets off, all of the stuff that I don't want onto it, and paint it up so it's all nice and done, and then rebuild everything back up to where it is now, but in a sort of finished state. That's my plan. That's my plan. Yeah, so anyway, this is where we are. This is what we're thinking about next. Seat unit. I'm not worried about mounting the seat unit. I've got the gussets in there like I showed you. Bars will be across here. There's going to have to be some work done around this area as well. But foot pegs are what I'm interested in. Next video might be some time. I know the last one was a long time. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. But because I haven't made up my mind, it's a bit, I don't know how long it's going to be. But there will be another video.